Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's AshleyChristina and we're gonna talk about some new things that I bought and how I feel about it real quick. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the much loved and much hyped about, hold on, my poof is not on fleek. The much hyped, much talked about Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe brushes. I mean, hello, so pretty. Just like, it's stupid how pretty this is. Like, I mean, what? I mean, here, like, is nice, but like this chunk and like that chunk are like, it's what palettes are supposed to be, like, do, you know? There's no point in buying a palette if there's not moments like that in your palette. So what I want to talk about mainly with this palette is, I mean, anything that she suggests, of course, is going to be perfect. Anything that she says is amazing and I went out and bought it, I by far have not been disappointed yet. And this was definitely something that I'm really glad that I spent the money on, because it's definitely going to be a really great palette to have in general. Like, it's neutrals, it's warm, it's got pops of this, and it covers a lot of bases, and it's definitely like a great palette if you have, you know, I mean, some of it might be a little intense, but for the most part, like, if you are not a huge makeup person and you really just want to get your start, like, this is a great palette. The only thing that I would say about it that's negative, it has nothing to do with Jaclyn Hill, because she's great, is the packaging. I was not impressed with the packaging at all. I mean, I heard a lot of people talk about it online, but I was surprised at how instantly upset I was by the packaging. I think I would have liked it to have been a little bit more special. I think once you take it out of the box, it loses the punch, experience-wise, because a lot of what people go for, you know, if you never knew anything about Jaclyn Hill, let's say you were in a store walking past it, like, this does not make me go, oh, gotta have it. Now, I understand that it's all about what's inside, sure, but for those of you who maybe found the $27.99 to be still quite expensive for you, obviously if we go into higher end eyeshadow palettes, $27.99 plus the code that she gave out, you know, really inexpensive palette. It's less than $1 for each shadow. But if you still found it to be a little on the pricey side, maybe you're young, or, you know, maybe you have a life and you just don't have the extra funds to spend on random eyeshadow palettes, I think what would have made people a little bit more excited about it is if it was a little bit more exciting as is. I think that's the only thing that really kind of upset me, because I feel like Jaclyn Hill is such a special person in YouTube, you know, as you know, along with, of course, every other guru out there, but I feel like this was a special purchase for me. I was really proud to buy this. I was really excited to buy this, and I was kind of upset at the fact that, you know, all you get is that little sticker on the back. I hope they consider switching up the packaging in the future and upping the quality of the packaging, because, you know, if you make it worth it, people will buy it. You know, Louis Vuitton, if you buy a keychain, they still will package it as if you bought the purse. They'll put the tissue paper and the this and the that in it to really make it an experience, so when you go home and you kind of sit down and you want to look at it again, it's a really special experience. And so I feel like a lot of what this missed out on was a moment to be really, really special. I'm not saying it had to be, you know, an $80 palette. I'm saying I would have spent, you know, $35, $40 on it if it had her name on it, you know? If the plastic was a little bit heavier in weight. I'm very scared to travel with this palette because I do not feel like the plastic is strong enough to handle a rough Flight or something like that. But we'll see, because I do love this palette a lot. So I would like to bring this with me to a lot of different places. I don't know, I mean, I just wish the packaging was better. Because I just feel like Jaclyn Hill deserves good packaging. She deserves good packaging, you know, and this plastic, ugh, you know, I'm not gonna get into details. I have education in packaging, so there's like little nitpicky things that I don't like about it, but I'm not gonna like go crazy on it, because then it's just gonna sound like I absolutely hate it, and that's not the situation. I just was kind of I'm in agreement, if that's even a word. I agree with other people who quickly mentioned that the packaging was not as superior as the eyeshadows. So moving on, recently I bought some stuff from ColourPop. My first purchase, if you follow me on Instagram, was a couple eyeshadows, a blush, and a couple Lippie Stix. Prior to this, I owned nothing from ColourPop, and that was just because I was, you know, trying to, you know, up my game with my makeup collection, and so ColourPop was just next on the list. 3 colors that I got, BFF, Skimpy, and Cupid. All of them are, 2 are glossy and 1 is hyper glossy. So Cupid is the hyper glossy. They are okay. The 2 that I just recently got, Skimpy and Cupid, are sticky to me. I feel like they're kind of sticky. They're not smooth as I feel like a lot of people say they are. I feel like when I put them on, I was kind of like, you know, so definitely a lip gloss has to go over these in order for these to be wearable for me, because I don't like, I like my lips to feel moisturized. I don't necessarily like to feel what's on my lips. Lippie pencil to go with BFF. I got BFF number 2 lip pencil. I think there's 4 different shades, and I got the number 2 one. It's an interesting color on its own. I would wear this by itself. It's so pretty. I had to contact the company because I'm not aware of their packaging. So when they, you know, you get all that stuff in the mail, you get like the postcard or whatever, and they say like, oh, make sure your sharpener is really, really sharp, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, sharpener? So I'm like, did I get a sharpener? Should I have bought one? So you're supposed to like shave the plastic down like a normal pencil. I find that so strange. I think that's so weird. Put so much effort into like this pretty metallic-y print. Like, ugh, it's gonna suck to like shave that down, but whatever. Highlighters. So I purchased 2 highlighters. I got an email like, what was it, last week, and I literally stopped everything that I was doing, hopped on my computer, and bought 2 highlighting powders from ColourPop. Stole the Show and Lunch Money. So Lunch Money is more of a gold highlight. Stole the Show is more on the champagne-y white side. So there's some champagne-y gold moments in this. I forget which one I put on. I think I put Lunch Money on today. So any little moments like that is Lunch Money. And for now, I think they're great. It did kind of scare me because a lot of ColourPop, you are supposed to apply these things with your hands. I'm not a huge, you know, I don't like to work with my hands as much anymore just because I'm an acne prone person, so I freak out at the thought of having to touch my face. But in the name of beauty, we will deal with it. I have not tried the blush yet. I have swatched it a few times, so that's why it looks a little wonky. I got Between the Sheets, and it's like this really pretty mauve color. And yeah, I haven't tried it out yet. I don't know how I feel about, again, like touching my face to get the color on, so when I feel comfortable doing that, I will do it. I got 4 eyeshadows. I watched somebody's video on YouTube, and she had so many colors, so many, and so I based like what I liked off of that. So I got Fringe. I'm sure you've seen this before. This is awesome. Again, in the champagne gold family. Fun color. I used that in the corners of my eyes. I got So Quiche. It's this really amazing brown, God, I don't know, pewter kind of in that family, pewter. So there's a little bit of purple, a little bit of green, a little bit of brown, you know. And then I got Sequin, so that's like a rose gold. And the last color, I made 2 purchases, and like the eyeshadow moment was first, and then the highlight powder was a second moment. And I said, oh, let me throw in another powder in here. I should have used this one today. This probably would have made it a little too dark, but I got To a T, and it's this awesome chocolate brown. Ugh. If you follow me on Snapchat, I did like some swatches on there, like a quick, like, you know, Snapchat story about my recent purchase. So yeah. I'm not a huge Snapchat person, so like if you don't follow me, it's not a big deal, because I'm not huge on like vlogging every moment. Maybe in the future, but right now I'm like an old lady in that I just don't quite get it. So yeah, so all in all, really happy with these new spring purchases. I think I'm gonna have too much fun playing with all of these colors. I'm especially like obsessed with the fact that everyone's doing a lot of these rose golds kind of accent colors, sparkly colors. I just think rose gold is such an awesome, I just love it. So yeah, I hope that you maybe feel a little bit more comfortable about spending the extra money on the Jaclyn Hill palette. If it's way out of your price range, I'm sure she will be coming out with things that are low in price point, because that's just, you know, she's great. And also, you know, if you want, like, you can always, like, you know, go buy some of her other favorites and, you know, make your own palette like I have from Makeup Geek, Coastal Scents. So yeah, but if you were hesitant and it's still available, I think it is, yeah, definitely check it out. The eyeshadows are great. Ignore the packaging, just focus on the eyeshadows, and hopefully the next time Morphe Brushes does anything, they step it up in the packaging, and hopefully Jaclyn Hill will make us some makeup that we can use and leave everyone else in the dust. And I will see you guys next week with some other fun things. And if there is something specific that you think you would like to see me try or do, or if you have any questions, let me know. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you when I see you, and au revoir, bye-bye, peace.